Today, in comparisons to the Gilded Age, we're going to talk about the first march on Washington, D.C., and it was in 1894. So first, let's look at the landscape of 1894 in America. Remember, we had the panic in 1893, which was the worst economic disaster that America had faced to date. So banks closed, businesses closed, people lost their jobs. So it really turned into an economic depression that lasted until 1897. So in 1894, we're kind of in the thick of it. So just how many people were unemployed? 4 million Americans were unemployed. The unemployment rate was between 17 to 19% nationwide. In some cities, it was 25% or even 34%. So a lot of people. And it's important to remember there's no social safety net. There's no Social Security. There's no unemployment insurance. If you did not have a job and you didn't have savings and you didn't have family, you were on the street. So remember that all of the social safety nets that we think of don't exist in the Gilded Age. So vagrancy is at an all-time high in cities. People are trying to get arrested in cold weather cities just so they can get inside. So the prisons are overflowing. Charities are maxed out. There really is a crisis in the city for the average person. For the non-average person, for the wealthy, they are hosting things called hard times balls, where you dress up in a hobo costume, and the best costume goes home with a bag of flour. So you can kind of see the different sides of the country of the haves and the have-nots. And that's where we are in 1894. So there's a businessman in Ohio, a wannabe politician named Jacob Coxey. Coxey knows how to speak in front of a crowd, and he's had enough. He decides that really what needs to happen is you have all these people out of work and you have the U.S. government, which has money. So why can't the U.S. government hire some of these unemployed Americans and give them jobs? He comes up with a whole proposal, and it really is reminiscent of FDR's New Deal, which we wouldn't see until 50 years later. So Coxey's really ahead of his time here. And he's asking for the U.S. government to hire Americans to build roads, to build libraries, to build up the infrastructure